So, ladies and gentlemen, today is the day that we start doing two-column proofs. If you're able to do the flowchart proof, this is going to be super simple. There's nothing new to it, it's just a different way to do it. This is super important for geometry. It's one of the hardest topics, but I think we've set you up nicely that it shouldn't be too difficult. So, let's look at our diagram here. Once again, I'll use the colors to kind of help us out. We want to prove that those two triangles are congruent. And that is why we turn off our cell phones in class, so that we do not have that disturbance happen. So my cell phone is off, and let's start this proof. So first thing we know is I usually start out with the givens. I've got this angle, which I'm going to color green, and this angle I'm going to color green. So we know that angle P is congruent to angle T. And if the numbers are there for us already, what's my reason? Given. Next one, we are given some information on the sides. So we've got ST is 6 and PQ is 6. So we know those must be congruent. So PQ is congruent to ST, and we know that, once again, if the numbers are just written on the paper, that's given to us. And the last thing is we know something else about some of the angles. And we've seen this picture of these triangles before, so hopefully you guys are starting to recognize these angles here. They are vertical angles. So angle PRQ is congruent to angle SRT. And once again, our reason for this one is vertical angles. So we can write our conclusion. My conclusion is going to be triangle QPR is congruent to triangle what? Make sure you match up the colors. STR. So I did blue, green, purple, QPR, blue, green, purple, STR. And our reason for that one is going to be what? Angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. Once again, the side's not in between the two angles. Otherwise, it'd be angle, side, angle. But it's not, so it's angle, angle, side. All right, so the flowchart proof is exactly what we've done before. That was nothing new. The next thing is we just have to put it together in to make a two-column proof. So I always number my two-column proofs, and my first statement is going to be my first bubble here. Angle P, and my statements are always what's in the bubble. My reasons are what's on the line. So angle P is congruent to angle T, and that is given. So once again, in the bubble is in the statement. The reason for it on the line is in the reason one. Step number 2, PQ is congruent to ST, given. And step number 3, angle PRQ is congruent to angle SRT. And our reason for this one is vertical angles. So then my last statement is going to be my conclusion. And angle PQR, triangle QPR is congruent to triangle STR. STR, and our reason for this one is going to be angle, angle, side. All right, and the only thing that's new about this is in the flowchart we have arrows to show the flow. In the two-column proof we don't, so that's why we number them 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's what I'm going to put behind it. So I know that my reasoning for this is angle, angle, side. It's purple, green, blue, so I'm going to number them purple, green, blue. The purple one was this third bubble. the green one was my first bubble, and the blue one was my side, and that was my second one. So I know that the angle side is from step 3, step 1, and step 2. If you do have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, we're going to continue on to the next one. You guys have also seen this diagram before, and this flowchart proof does look a little bit different, but nonetheless, we will be good to go. So let's start with what we know. We know that angle B is congruent to angle D. And the lines are given to that, so how do we know that? That is given. Right? And we can also write that as our first statement here. Angle B is congruent to angle D. So we'll also write given here. All right, so next thing that because we usually start with our givens, so the next thing that we are given is AB is parallel to DC. And I know you guys might overthink that, but we are given the arrows here. That is a piece of information that is given to us, so we do have to include it in our proof. So AB is parallel to DC, which then that tells us something. And that tells us something about these two angles. And what does it tell us about those two angles? That they are congruent. So my next piece of information here, let's put what's in my flowchart proof. AB is parallel to DC. That is given. And so then my next thing, angle DCA is congruent to angle CAB. And how do we know that? My reason for that is alternate interior angles. So once again, angle DCA is congruent to angle CAB. Once again, what's in the bubble just goes in our statements. And my reason for this is the same thing. But I've got to show the flow. Okay? I have to know where that comes from anytime there's an arrow. So that's going to come from number 2. So since they're parallel, I know that they're congruent. So I got to show the flow. Last one, we know AC is congruent to AC. How do we know that AC is congruent to AC? That is reflexive. Remember, anytime something is congruent to itself, it's always the reflexive property. So step 4, AC is congruent to AC. And then step 5, I can finally say that my two triangles are congruent. I'm going to go green, purple, yellow here. So triangle DCA is congruent to what triangle? BAC. So again, green, purple, yellow, green, purple, yellow. And my reason for this is angle, angle, side. So triangle DCA is congruent to triangle BAC. My reason, angle, angle, side. And once again, we have to show the flow. So my first angle was the green one. Which one refers to the green one? That's step number 1. My next angle is the purple one. That's step number 3. And then my side is the 4th one. So 1, 3, and 4. All right, go ahead and turn the page over.